Hey, what's going on, you guys? So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys why I will never have a kid in my life. Now, before I get into this video, I know people are going to be like, "Oh, why would you never want to have kids? You don't like kids?" I like kids, but I wouldn't want to have that as my responsibility personally. So, number one, it's very expensive. The reason why I would say having a kid is very, very expensive, no matter how rich you are or how poor you are, is because you would have to worry about buying diapers, not only diapers, food, doctors coming in and out of your house if you have a disability child, and you have to worry about insurance, adding them to your insurance, and you gotta worry about getting their social security, and you know what I mean. It's like it's very, very, very expensive. Because not only you have to make a meal on the side for yourself that you have to buy for groceries, you have to buy milk, baby food, all that adds to your expense. When that half of the expense, let's say if you don't have a kid right now, you could use that half of that money to start a business or to start a side hustle that can get you out of that 9 to 5 job that you're at right now. You know what I mean? Plus, if you're a guy, I really feel bad for the guys that have kids right now because half of the income they're making has to go towards the child and the baby mama. You know what I mean? And the guy doesn't even know 100% that if the money is really going 100% towards the child, or if it's just half for the mom and then half for the child type of stuff. Like the mother can just work for their money. You feel me? Like we have OnlyFans nowadays. They can just get thousands of dollars, and you come to tell me that if 100% of the money is not going towards the child, it's just going half of it going towards you. Why do you need the money for? You can work for that shit. All my money is supposed to go towards my child. So I feel really bad for the guys that have children now because they don't really know if half of their money is really going towards the child. So that was number one. It's very, very, very expensive. Number two, you never have time to do exactly what you want. The people that have the biggest regrets in life, that are ones that are in prison, and the ones that have kids. Those the regrets that I hear from the most people are the ones that had kids at an early age, and now they realize that 40, 50 years old, like damn, and like if I didn't have a child, these 20 years I would have done a lot of things. And that's why I don't want to have a kid, because people will just have so many regrets, and they never have the time to chase for their dreams. They never have time to chase for their true desire and to put all their time into maximizing their potential. That most of their time has to be put towards the child. You know what I mean? Like it has to be put raising a child. Plus you gotta teach the child how to talk and all that stuff. It's just a lot of work. It's that you never have time to truly do what you want. You can't even go out to a store and grab a chocolate bar. You gotta bring a big ass stroller and look like a fucking single dad or a single mom in public. You feel me? Like I don't really know. I'm not really with that shit. You feel me? Like so that was number two. You never have time to do what you want. You never have time to chase for your true career. Like the funny part is about this part is that whenever I'm in college, right, I would always see the people that are a lot older, like 20 years older than me, that would go back to school. And most of the time, 90% of the time is the women that are going back to school, because the women realize like, damn, I wasted all these 20 years raising my kids, not learning anything, but just raising kids and changing diapers all day, every single day. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's just what happens. So let's move on. Number three, like adding on to that, number three, you have so many responsibilities. You can't fuck up. You can't go out and party. You can't go out with your friends. You can't go out and do whatever you want or commit crimes, because then you have ACS coming into your house, always checking what you do, taking drug tests. If you're caught with doing drugs next to the kids and all that stuff, you can't do any of that shit when you have kids. So many responsibilities. Like you have to be more responsible than a fucking pilot. Actually, no. A pilot is responsible of like 100 people. So I would say you're more responsible than, like, I don't know, a teacher, because a teacher is just like teaching in front of the class. So I would say it is. You have so many responsibilities. You have to make sure a child is not sick and all that stuff. If it's sick, then you gotta take time, half of the time out of your day to take the child all the way to the doctor and all that stuff. And honestly, it's just very, 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 very draining to me. To do all that when I could just use that time to practice my guitar or practice piano or work out. You know what I mean? Like all that, or work on my mental, like read a book or meditate and stuff like that. But people just got to deal with stress every day, man. When you have kids, like you don't have time to do any of that. You have so many responsibilities. So, number four, and this is very, very important. It's very physically and emotionally draining. Why do I say that? Because you always have to adjust your emotions. Whether you're like, if you wake up in a shitty mood, then you have to adjust that into a positive mood. You know what I mean? And to a person that can be very emotionally draining because they're always fixing what they're feeling towards their kids, so that way they don't feed off a different energy towards the kids. You feel me? Like instead of just being real with your emotions and just be like, all right, fuck the day. I'm just gonna go out and do whatever I want. Go to the beach, relax. You can't do that when you have a kid. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You can't just go out and do whatever you want. You feel me? Like, but I'm not bashing people down, the ones that do have kids. I'm just trying to put this video out for the ones that are fiending to have kids, that don't have any kids yet. And you just have to have more realistic thinking. Like, and plus the physical part, you always have to get up every 5-10 seconds to feed the child milk or change diapers at least twice an hour just to, take care of the child. You know what I mean? And you're always holding a child asleep, and it's like, if you're a weak person, I'm still sorry for you. I don't know. If you're physically weak, I'm talking about. But, yeah, it's physically and emotionally draining. That you always have to do work throughout the exact 24 hours of the day. So, last but very, very not least, very, very not least, number five, the fifth reason why I would never see myself having a kid. If you're going through a breakup or a divorce, it is a lot of a heavier weight on the man than the woman. Because we would have to, like, let's say you work an 8-hour shift and you make $100 a day. That $100, I mean, half of that $100, which is $50, is going towards the child, and another 20%, which is like what, $20 or $10, is going towards the women. So then you're realistically making $45 a day towards yourself. You feel me? Like I don't know. Like, you have a kid with your girlfriend, but next thing you know, you and your girl just couldn't get along with each other, so y'all broke up. Now you gotta deal with, like, if you're not bringing home any diapers or anything, or fulfilling her needs, because now the girl's gonna become more and more needy and stuff like that. And if you're not following any single one of that stuff, like, responding to a text message or FaceTime calls while you're talking to another girl, and you're like, man, why she won't leave me alone? I just gave her money for diapers yesterday. That's because they become needy over time. And that's something no guy understands. They become very needy because they know they have a weapon, which is your DNA, your seed. And they're like, man, if you don't take care of your seed every single day, I'm going to put your ass in family court. So, last but not least, you have to deal with family court if you're going through a breakup or a divorce. And that's the worst nightmare that any guy can go through. You feel me? Like and plus divorce. If you're going through a divorce, half of your income at least is going towards the women. What's alimony? Like, come on, you guys. Like, look. Not like, let's look at Cardi B's divorce. Now that's the divorce that I'm truly disappointed in, because if you looked at Cardi B's interview a year ago, or actually no, this was in 2017 when they very first got together. So if you look at her interview in 2017, she was like crazy. She looked like she was crazy in love with him, but like, if you really look at her personality, all she was about is sex, even towards a guy that she didn't like. She was always talking about sex, like, how hard I suck his dick, how my wop is so big, and all that shit. Like, she would publicly say that. Like, if my girl would be so open about it, she would have to be like that off the camera in our bedroom. She cannot talk like that towards other people. You feel me? Otherwise, I am not even gonna put a ring on it. But I don't know why Offset even put a ring on a stripper too. Like, she used to be a stripper. Like, come on, man. I know y'all would be like, oh, but what about the money she gave him on his birthday? But that's the same amount of money that Offset put her on to the game. So do you think that she would give him money if she didn't put him on to the, if Offset didn't put her on to the rap game? Do you really think that? Like, come on. Come on, you guys. Like, y'all just being delusional right now. Like, and plus now she wants 100% custody of the kid. So now he is stuck. He's stuck. You know what I mean? Like, he's very stuck. Unless he's gonna have a plan and produce like a crazy ass album or something. I mean, I feel like he should just do that. You feel me? Like, he's stuck. So I would highly don't recommend having a kid, period. You feel me? Like, yes, cute and all that stuff, you know, you see something that looks like you and is walking around, but the amount of responsibilities and the weight that is behind us that we have to carry on for 20 years or possibly for the rest of our lives, is it worth 30 years plus of your life? Or would you want to rather spend those 30 years chasing your potential? You feel me? Like, I'd rather wait for y'all to wait all the way until like your 40s to really have kids, because then you already like experienced a lot of life. If you really want to have a kid so badly, I would say wait until you're 40. You feel me? At least, at the very least, because like let's say you're 20 right now or 18 right now, you still have like 22 more years to live out your life. That's a lot. You feel me? Like, that's if you want to do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, let me know if you guys like these tips, and I'll continue along with this series. Thank you.